I started with Robert Winston 14 years ago when I first became mace bearer, and I think he's a great guy to work for. He has a lot of, comedy bits about him. He tells jokes and all sorts, and he really makes everybody feel at rest while he's on graduation.
My first experience was graduation 2004 when we were at Ponds Forge, and every year since. He's always up to mischief. You get your platform procession lined up and you get round to the Oval Hall and Robert's missing.
He disappeared completely. No one knew where he'd gone. But we found him in the end because he went to the other side of the stage.
He'll walk down the line and he'll start checking people's shoes, rearranging people's hats, and just generally causing havoc.
But that's the sort of things he does. But he's brilliant at the way he does it and works.
I'd been to many graduation ceremonies and I'd heard a kind of standard recipe, which is, this university is great. Me as the person speaking here, I'm great. And you, as the graduates, are effectively doing us as an institution a favour in graduating. And Robert did it completely differently. Robert focused on the graduate, he focused on the families, and he addressed them in his own way, quite personally.
While he took it seriously, he always found time to introduce into his speeches some little story taken from, many of them taken from his previous life, first as a medical student or later as a researcher, which always were very funny and amusing, as well as actually stimulating for the students.
And in doing that, he transformed the graduation ceremonies for me and made it focus on the graduates and on their families, and made it a wonderful, wonderful occasion. And I'll treasure that for the rest of my life.
I'd like to thank him for being the real figurehead for the university, particularly around health education and our bioscience students. I think that's brought a greatness to the provision that we offer. It's attracted students, and the legacy is for our health students that we have a building named after him.
Robert, I own many others at Sheffield Hallam, especially staff working in catering, domestic staff, staff in events, in fact everyone involved in graduation, as well as the academics and students whose lives you have touched, will miss your inclusiveness, your humour and your inspiring presence.
It has been an absolute pleasure to look after him when he's been here.
I wish him all the best for his retirement, and I hope everything goes well for him.
You epitomise what Sheffield Hallam stands for in everything you do. You too truly transform lives.